Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Watson, and so yeah, looking at his team on the side there, looks to be a pretty powerful team, and looking at my team, it is the same one that I used in the last match here. So, what do I want to lead with in this one? Hmm. That is a good question. I think I'm gonna go with the lantern in this one, actually. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. So hopefully we can get something going this time around here. So there she is, and gonna go ahead and lead with the Zapdos as we led with the Lantern. So this is a pretty good matchup for us, actually. We do have the resistance to, or the immunity to both of this thing's stab moves, which is pretty nice. Um, I think what we want to do right out of the gate here, I'm not sure what this thing is going to want to do. But let's just go ahead and hit him up with an Ice Beam, see how much damage we can get. Just actually goes straight for the switch. And going to go ahead and switch into Landorus, which actually works out perfectly. So perhaps trying to block the electric attack, gets the Intimidate to cut our attack, but it doesn't matter. Hit him up with an Ice Beam, which is just going to go ahead and one-shot that Landorus outright, which is amazing. That is going to knock her down to 5 Pokemon, so amazing start to the game for us. Definitely very, very solid. So yeah, that worked out. Could not have worked out better. So see what she wants to bring in response to that. Definitely one huge threat down very early in the game, which is great. So no try-hard Landorus is here. So now the Iron Treads is going to come in. And so we have a little bit of a choice to make here. We are actually packing Terra Flying, which we could use to gain a ground immunity here. So I don't know if I wanted Terra just yet, though. That is something I could do, but I don't know. I don't feel like I want to do that just yet. So I think rather than doing that, I want to switch to the Haunch Crow instead for the ground immunity. So yeah, we're going to do that instead and see where that gets us. So there it is. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it, gotta love it. And yeah, there's the Earthquake, so that worked out great. We get the free switch there. So, yeah, so now I think what we're going to do is, I think we'll go ahead and try to fire off a Night Slash at this thing. It is a 50% chance of a critical hit, which is nice. She is just going to go for the Stealth Rock this turn, get the entry hazard up on us. Kind of as expected, we are going to go for a Night Slash in return. Does some decent chip damage, no crit unfortunately. Then this thing is going to get some HP back with its leftovers. So I feel like we could probably, this turn, I don't know if we want to go for a Night Slash again. I think this time we'll change it up and go U-turn in case they decide to switch. And so they actually just knock off, which is only going to do a little bit of chip damage to us, but get rid of our leftovers, unfortunately, as we are going to U-turn, which is going to do a little bit of chip damage to that thing. And we do get the pivot out. And so off of that, I think, what are we going to come in with here? I think we'll go for the Infernape, only because I don't want to be hit with another knockoff outsped. So we'll come in with Infernape, take the Stealth Rock damage, and so this thing is going to get more HP back with its leftovers once again. So we have to decide what move we want to go for. Both of our stab moves hit this thing super effectively. I feel like our safer option of the two, it's hard to say, but I feel like Flare Blitz is a safer option. So we're going to Flare Blitz here as she is going to go ahead and bust out the Terra on the Iron Tread. So this could end up hurting us greatly. What Terror type is this thing going to be? It is going to be Ghost. Okay, so it's definitely a good thing we went for the fire attack instead of the fighting attack. So this thing is Terror Ghost. As we should outspeed, we are Scarf. We're going to go for a nice Flare Blitz. It is not super effective anymore, and unfortunately, this thing does survive because of it. We do take some recoil damage there, and then this thing is going to fire off an Earthquake, and unfortunately, that is going to take our Infernape down and knock us down to, I believe, 5 Pokemon, as this thing is going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So, unfortunate turn of events there for us to lose the Infernape like that, but kind of is what it is. Now, this thing has gone Terror Ghost, so given that fact, we could just come back in with our Haunch Crow. I kind of want to do that. So yeah, we're just going to do that. We'll come back in with the Haunch Crow, and this thing, I don't think really can do much of anything to us. So there is the Haunch Crow. We do take more Stealth Rock damage. Unfortunately, we don't have the leftovers anymore to gain HP back, but I think we'll just Night Slash here in case they decide to switch, which is a possibility, fearing the Sucker Punch, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, so there's the switch. Fearing the Sucker Punch or maybe the Dark Beam. Generally speaking, going to come in with the Clefable, which is not great for us. We are going to get a Night Slash on that thing, which does some pretty decent chip damage, actually, with a critical hit. So that is pretty nice. And so this turn, this thing, I'm not sure who's going to outspeed who here. I don't know if we want to just straight up switch or if we want to just U-turn. Maybe we want a Brave Bird for some chip damage. This is a difficult decision, actually. You know what? I don't see Haunch Crow being super useful anymore, especially without the leftovers and with the Stealth Rock up, so we're just going to Brave Bird here. We do outspeed, which is nice, so we get a nice Brave Bird on this thing. Does massive damage with another critical hit. Not quite enough to take the Clefable out, unfortunately, but this thing, as it survives with 1 HP in the red, goes for a Calm Mind to get a nice special attack and special defense boost, which is actually pretty amazing for us, which means that this time around it cannot take another attack, so we're going to Night Slash just in case they decide to do anything creative here, but this thing should be within range that anything should take it out at this point. So the super luck ability on this on the Haunch Crow is really paying dividends here, as they do actually go for the switch this time, and so they're going to switch into the Zapdos, fearing another Brave Bird perhaps. So the Zapdos is in. We do get a Night Slash, and that damage looks it's a massive damage actually, but not a critical hit, but still massive damage to the Zapdos, taking it down by almost half. Unfortunately, Static comes in and paralyzes us, so that sucks. So there's even less reason for us to switch now. This thing could easily roost on us right now, so I'm hesitant to click Sucker Punch. But I feel like we haven't shown Sucker Punch yet, so we're going to do it. So there's the Sucker Punch, and it fails. So yeah, there's the roost probably. Yep, there's the roost. So yeah, we shouldn't have done that, but it was a gamble, and so this thing is back up to almost full HP right now, unfortunately. Might as well just Sucker Punch until it takes us down, and this time we get fully paralyzed. So that is the worst of luck, as this thing is going to take us out with a Volt Switch. So yeah, unfortunately the super luck ran out there on Haunch Crow, so that sucks a lot. So Haunch Crow is down. We go down to 4. The Zapdos pivots out. The only good thing about this is that the Zapdos goes out first, so we will get to. They have to show first, so we'll get to match up on whatever they decide to bring in here. So, yeah. What is it gonna be? That is the question. Okay, so it is going to be the Iron Hands. So that's kind of fine. That lets me go into whatever I want against this thing, and I think the answer is going to be Hippowdon for sure. So going to come in with the Hippowdon here. And so we do take some Stealth Rock damage, and we get the Sandstream to set up the Sandstorm. So a little bit of a choice to make once again here, because this thing, they could easily switch out here, and so I don't know. I feel like probably we should still Earthquake, even though they could easily switch. I feel like Earthquake is still the best play, so we're just going to Earthquake here. Yeah, we'll just do that. And so they do stay in an Ice Punch, so that does a lot of damage, takes us down by about 50%. But we do get a nice Earthquake in return. And so not quite enough to take this thing out, and it is going to take some sand damage. Now, how do we handle this situation? That is the question. I think the fact that that thing did not take Rocky Helmet damage means I think it's Punching Glove, I want to say. Probably. So, what do we do here? That's the question. Does this thing Drain Punch us now? I feel like it actually might Drain Punch us. But that wouldn't be enough to take us out. This is a tough call. Don't want to lose a Powdon. Really don't want to lose a Powdon. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna make a bold prediction here. I'm gonna switch into Rabombi actually, because I'm gonna predict this thing might actually try to Drain Punch us here. So we're gonna switch to Rabombi and see if that goes in well. So take the Stealth Rock damage, Ice Punch. Nope, no Drain Punch. We do actually live the Ice Punch. And do we live the sand damage? Yes, we do just barely live the sand damage, so that is pretty awesome. That thing lives the sand damage as well. The question is that sand damage enough to take that thing out next turn? I don't think if it is, I would like to set up a Sticky Web, but I just don't want to take that gamble. So let's Moonblast. I don't want to take that gamble. Okay, he actually switches out, so he should have taken that gamble. So that's not good. So he switches into, what's that going to be? That is the Iron Treads comes back in. Okay, so that's fine. We get a Moonblast on this thing, takes it out. So that's actually, I'm completely fine with that, actually. So we do get rid of the Treads, knock him down to, I think that's 4, I want to say. We are going to get hit with the Sand, though, which is going to finish us off and knock us down to 3. So we do have a double down here, so we do get to choose a matchup against this thing. What do we want to bring in? I think we want to do Lantern, actually. I think we want to do Lantern. Yeah, let's do Lantern. So we're going to do Lantern. What's he going to come in with, or she? That's the question. It is going to be Heat Ran, okay. So that's not the best thing in the world, not the worst thing in the world. We do take the Stealth Rock damage. I think what we want to do is just fire off a Scald on this thing. I think that's probably best case scenario, so that's what we're going to do. This thing does outspeed us with an Earth Power. Not quite enough to take us out, fortunately. We do fire off a Scald in return, does massive damage. Not enough to take that thing out, though, as we are going to take sand damage. That thing is going to regain some HP with the leftovers. So we have a pretty important decision to make, actually. We're going to get some HP back with the leftovers, too. So our decision is, do we bust out our Terra or not? Because I kind of don't want to, but at the same time, it would, if he goes for the Earth Power again, would ensure the KO on the Heat Ran. So we don't really have a switch. We know that. It's probably actually a pretty tough decision. She could go for the fire move in case we decide to switch, which would screw us if we Terra Flying. But I feel like we're running out of options here. I do feel like we're running out of options here. I think we just have to do it. We have to Terra Flying and hope they don't overpredict. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and bust out the Terra. Could have done this last turn fearing the Earth Power, but we didn't. We're going to go ahead and go Terra Flying on the Lantern to try and dodge the ground attack and hopefully take this thing out with a Scald. And we know they outspeed us, so they go for the Earth Power. So it does pay off. The Terra Flying does pay off. Doesn't touch us. Go for the next Scald and take the Heat Ran out. So that is pretty big, actually. Getting rid of the Heat Ran there and knocking her down to 3. Sandstorm is going to be over, and we are going to get some HP back with our leftovers, which is a good thing. So that does actually help us out a little bit. But there are still a bunch of potential hazards to dodge here. So the question now is what is going to come in with? It's going to be the Clefable. Okay, so Clefable comes in and knows. So I think that thing is barely alive with 1 HP. But how do we want to play this? I don't know who's going to outspeed who here. So we're just going to click Volt Switch and see what happens here. We do actually outspeed this thing, which is great. We get a Volt Switch, get a critical hit, which does not matter at all. Finishes the Clefable off and knocks her down at 2. Hindsight, we maybe should have just stayed in there because we still have Stealth Rock to contend with, but yeah, we didn't. So now we are going to go ahead and come in with Reuniclus and see what she wants to do. So we will not take Stealth Rock damage thanks to Magic Guard, which is nice. So I'm going to come in with Zapdos now. And so Zapdos is in, and so I think what we're going to do here is we're going to double switch back to the fish just to scout this Zapdos, see what it wants to do. We do still have the Volt Absorb on deck if they go for an electric attack here. So we come in with this. We do take the Stealth Rock damage, and actually we do survive the Stealth Rock damage just barely, and they go for the Hurricane, and they actually miss. So that is pretty fortunate for us. So we get some HP back with the leftovers, and so interesting turn of events there for sure. I think this turn we just try to fire off an Ice Beam. They go Volt Switch, hoping we're not Volt Absorb, but we actually are, so that pays huge dividends there. We get some HP back, which is nice. Get a big Ice Beam off on this thing, takes it down by 50%, which is amazing. So Lantern still got a little more life left in it as we get some more HP back with the leftovers once again. So, so that's working out pretty well for us. Now the question is, do they try to Hurricane or switch? I think either way, they are down to 2, so I think either way the right play is to Ice Beam again, so that's what we're going to do. They do go for a Heat Wave. Can we take it? Yes! Lantern hangs on with 17 HP, goes for the next Ice Beam, takes the Zapdos out, knocks him down to just 1 Pokemon. So Lantern absolutely putting in the work in this game, even more so than I had thought possible. So that is absolutely amazing. We get some more HP back with the leftovers, and her last Pokemon is going to be that Iron Hands, which is almost finished off at this point. I think our time is probably up here with Lantern, but we're just going to attempt to fire off a Scald. We do actually outspeed the Iron Hands, though, and take it out with a Scald, so holy crap, I did not give Lantern enough credit, and that is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to win that one 3-0 against Watson. That was a great match, actually. Really fun game, competitive game, and roller coaster of a game as well. And I will be the first to admit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that I definitely did not give Lantern enough credit in that game. Lantern put so much work in that game, more so than I thought it would. But yeah, that is incredible, and I couldn't be happier with that. So yeah, that's definitely a much needed victory for us there to hopefully get our mind right and get back to some winning ways here on the channel. So but yeah, that is going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.